Yeah, but, and then just like, we'll. When you're speaking.
My daughter was watching the thing during lunch, and she's like, "Dad, stop swishing the water in your mouth after you eat." Trying to get all the stuff out.
Well, that's, you didn't have any regular. Let me give you some You're just working. Oh, and once not the kitchen, we don't take that. What is the best you get? Are we going? I'm not worried about that. Did you all grab the recipes as you came in? So someone from the end of your row will grab, there's a stack of recipes on the table. Someone will grab some for your row. And Rosie's like, what? So I apologize for it's pretty much. Yeah, that's what I was told by Keith Slater.
Yeah, it was, all of this stuff was bad, so like it looked like this.
Yeah, there was one. Well, that's what we heard.
But I do the right,
Do you like lunch or? Oh, I can just a little lunch. I can taste it. It's my, I'm one of those people that the taste of cilantro is not full. There was quite a few onions. Onions are okay, but I know,
yeah, it's, they talk about it, it's a genetic thing, with some people, whatever it is, like, so, if they send it, I don't know.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to session 2 of the EFNEP Recipe Challenge. I want to let you know we are being live streamed as I talk. This is an owl. It's picking up anytime you make a sound, the camera juts to you. There are 3 angles, so right now I'm on camera, and if you make a sound in the back, it'll shoot over to you. So just know, even if you think you're not on camera, you are, okay? If you do ask a question, please use your outside voice and project. We also have 2 walking around who may do man on the street interviews with you. So that is also live streamed. So please, if you don't want to be on camera.
Too bad.
No. Too bad. No. So I just want to let you know ahead. Okay. So today, in total, we have 13 educators competing in the EFNEP Recipe Challenge. This is an opportunity for EFNEP educators to influence the recipes utilized in our programming here in North Carolina. All recipes that meet the 90% threshold outlined in the score sheet will be included in the Cooking with EFNEP cookbook and may be selected for feature in EFNEP lessons. Educators were charged with taking an existing recipe or an original recipe and adapting it to follow the EFNEP recipe guidelines and the Mediterranean style of eating. EFNEP guidelines are sensitive to our audience by incorporating WIC-approved foods, being culturally diverse, and by using affordable and readily available ingredients. Recipes will be judged following a short presentation to us this morning. Each educator will have only 30 minutes of prep time beforehand. We ask that you hold your questions and comments during their presentation. Only judges will sample the recipe. Our judges are Dr. Carolyn Dunn. She is a professor and head of the Department of Agriculture and Human Sciences at NC State. She provides program expertise and statewide leadership for nutrition and wellness for families and communities. She has 25 plus years of experience in nutrition education and develops nutrition education materials that are used across the country to help people eat smart and move more. She is a lifelong fitness advocate and enjoys walking, weight training, and yoga. She has a passion for cooking, food, travel, art, and design. Our next judge, Chef Brian Adornetto. I lovingly call him Chef Brian. I have tried many times to say his name. He is a personal chef, food writer, culinary instructor, recipe developer, and restaurant consultant. Chef Brian currently owns and operates Love at First Bite, LLC. Brian is on the adjunct culinary faculty of Wake Tech Community College, where he teaches a variety of culinary courses for the continuing education department. Additionally, Brian teaches basic and advanced knife skills, grilling, parent and kids in the kitchen, and a variety of other cooking classes at Southern Seasons Cooking School in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Our last judge is Giesler Baker. Giesler is a retired family and consumer science agent and interim county extension director from Guilford County. She began her career with Cooperative Extension in 1986 in Craven County as a family and consumer science and 4-H agent with supervisory responsibilities for 2 EFNEP program assistants. Giesler quickly fell in love with the program and its mission. Later, she transferred to Lenoir County, where she continued as an EFNEP supervisor. Giesler and a colleague, Christine Smith, were the first FCS agents to develop a standardized training for new EFNEP staff. Their initial work helped to inform the content for new EFNEP educator training that was ultimately used as a state standard. Additionally, throughout her career, Giesler served on multiple curriculum and development teams. She has always been a strong supporter of EFNEP. And I am your host, Emily Foley. I am the Regional Extension Nutrition Associate an essential part of the state. I'm also an author on the adult curriculum and an author on the Cooking with EFNEP cookbook. I will be introducing each of the speakers as the educators as they come out. You'll also see me holding up hand signals. That's for their time. They have 7 minutes to participate. All right. Let me double check that our first person is ready. Our first team is ready. Nobody's looking at me, so that's not a good sign. Are they ready? Okay. We have a 10-minute lapse in time here.
So Dr. Johnson, you're busy. And Keith will get to you in a second, so y'all just watch. You could be next. So I'm with another recipe challenge judge, Dr. Caroline Nunn. Caroline, you guys have really been working hard, but tell me, what's your experience doing so far?
Well, it's always great to see the educators in the kitchen teaching us about the recipes that they developed. It's just amazing to see the creativity that they have coming up with these healthy recipes.
So when you ask questions, what kinds of things are you really looking for?
I'm really helping them to think how they can even take it further to make it even healthier. We're seeing some great substitutions here, using olive oil, decreasing some of the saturated fat in the dishes, decreasing some of the sugar. But how can we take it even further? A great example of that is the peach buckets. I asked her, had she tried it with less sugar, and she had. And she found that the recipe was taken down about as far as she could with sugar content. So we know that that was a sometimes recipe, not an everyday recipe. It was a great compromise from the original.
I was going to ask you about that actually, because I heard her say it and I thought, yeah, when the family says it's not sweet, I have to compromise.
Right, and you have to meet people where they are and have them ease into these healthier alternatives. So that was a great example of how she took a family recipe that was really high in sugar and made it better for to fit into dietary guidance.
Very good, I'm sure you're excited about this next one.
Oh, yes, I'll keep the head of the recipes and make it look amazing.
Very good, thanks so much for your time. So you already, okay, so who's going to
It's almost wrong. I'm up and down here. You know, like the language.
Karen, is it? So I knew Karen, and then I was.
Well, they don't pay. Yeah, that's okay. So, you want to be on camera?
So can you
It's fine, they're me, that whole thing.
Well, Teresa Chung, Dr. Brian, and Dr. John, now we're talking to Lisa Baker. She's the third judge here in the Recipe Challenge. Tell me about this experience. Have you ever done this before?
I've done it for children, but not so much for adults. So it's a great experience. So it's fun to see all the different aspects of the school.
What has impressed you most about these educators and recipes that they've put together so far?
I've been impressed that they're actually really delicious and healthy.
So what are some of the unique substitutions that you've noticed that they've made in some of these recipes?
Well, I really was for the kids in the same. Using that different, it's really got some 80 ounces. I feel one of them was just really so but it's light flavor. It's just really refreshing.
I felt the same way. We got to do this.
Yeah.
And I told my colleague, I said, okay, so the heat is doesn't have the red apples on it, so we can tell the difference between the two. Very good, so you're excited about that.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking to it. I'm just glad that they asked me to do this because I love to cook. And I really like to talk the programs. This is teaching people healthy eating can be delicious too.
Couldn't agree more. Well, thank you so much for your comments. We're getting ready for the second round, so y'all get ready to watch.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah. So that's we were doing schedule and because yeah, and great. So, yeah, it's not. Good question. Because there's a overlap. People have to get experiences and overlap, but since we were in the session, you can't like give people, yeah. Plus they were in the session.
Oh,
So it's not like they could just, you
Yeah,
know,
right, that's-
sorry. Yeah. Yes, you can. No, please, I need you guys to be calm. I don't know if any. Would you like me? Yeah, really great. Even better.
I'll just put on your tab, ma'am.
Yeah.
I hear
There. All kinds of things.
This is the first time you've ever seen this.
Because we've never had a snake.
You know, that's right.
This is so good.
You haven't done much yet?
I mean, I personally.
No, but I mean, yeah.
Oh, no. You can have it. Asians do. We've had receptions. I know.
This is.
I know. How do you do that? Yeah. No, that went a little heavy-handed.
Heavy-handed on what?
Everything. Okay. I like my Trump people.
Did you make this stuff?
Yes. Not this big man.
Scary good. It's so smooth that you can get caffeine.
Oh, I know.
Too wide.
There's things on the top shelf. Or I will serve you with. Just for the next dollar. All right, we are ready to get started. We are ready to get started again. Sorry for the delay. Our first presenters are Kathy and Della. Kathy is a youth and adult educator in Bertie County. Della is an adult educator in Pasquotank and Camden counties.
So, we are prepared for you today. Seasonal Ciabatta pockets, something different, simple, quick and easy, and yummy. In our slaw recipe, we have cabbage, we have cilantro, we have yogurt, we have chili powder, honey, as well as some vinegar. And this is what that looks like.
Okay, for our mango salsa, we did mango, cucumber, we did some fresh ginger and some chili powder, and it is in here with our shrimp, and then our shrimp, we just sauteed it in the Hot and spicy blend that we give you, that's an EFNEP blend, so we made it, and then we give you some to try to take home. And, our
No, it's just so that you will know
So you
what
have-
that for yourself.
It has no salt in it, so this recipe has no salt in it. And in our hot and spicy blend is smoked paprika, oregano, chili powder, garlic powder, red pepper, and dry mustard. And so we made that, and then, we just sauteed our shrimp for about, 6 to 8 minutes on each side, and then we changed the taco roll to a fresh kebab roll. And we use olive oil, and, our tip was to wash your cans, but we had fresh mangoes, so our tip changed to wash your mangoes and your fruits and your vegetables, because we didn't have canned, fruits and vegetables, and to keep our cold foods cold. And then we just kind of put everything together for you. I hope you enjoy it. And these are extra big rolls, so y'all can cut them, because we had bought the little small ones when we did it, and they wanted to feed y'all a lot, so. We have a little one, so y'all will just have to cut.
So you all can dig in when you're ready. And if you have a seafood allergy, then you can always switch it out for tofu, or you can even do some beans in there.
Chicken.
Some chicken, turkey. There's several options you can do with this. Quick, simple, easy.
Kathy, I'm gonna jump in. You're welcome to continue your presentation. I do
Yeah,
want to invite the
we like a
judges
little
to eat.
spice, kind of the Caribbean, like, so we like a little spice.
And you're welcome to ask questions. I will allow the judges to ask questions, and then the remainder of the audience is welcome to ask them as well.
So have you made this with a taco shell, like a corn taco shell?
Well, our EFNEP recipe is with the
Has
taco
a taco
shell.
shell,
Uh-huh.
and it's this exact thing, or did you alter other things?
The original recipe is the fish taco. So we switched the fish taco out and made it a seafood taco, so it could be any type of seafood that you like. And with that, it did have the taco. We also tried it as well with, wheat thins, the pepper flavored wheat thins. We also did it with the scoops, the whole wheat scoops, and that was yummy with that as well.
And the whole wheat bread, which we found out, we were doing the Mediterranean bread, the olive toast, Mediterranean olive toast, but we found out once we toasted the bread and then added the shrimp, and the bread kind of got a little soggy. So that's why we moved to the heartier kebab bread. Yes, ma'am.
Could you like tell us how you assemble the roll?
Okay. So the roll with the bottom bread is just a big square bread, and what we did was take it and cut it, X in it, and then we pulled it open so that you'll have a base there for your slaw and your seafood salad to rest in. Any other questions?
Have you done this with, your families?
Yes. With our families is a big, big hit because they, actually are able to take that home and prepare for other meals.
So do you give this away when you do that?
Yes,
Great
ma'am.
idea.
I do it to my group. They actually tested this recipe for y'all. So I've been testing it, and they've been preparing it. It's really easy. My group prepared it in the 30 minutes. So they can do it at home in 30 minutes also. So they did it. And then we invited the office over to come taste it and everything. Okay.
Big, big hit with all.
Is there a taco?
Either way, it has more flavor when you serve it warm. And we did toast our bread. Originally, our idea was to saute the bread in the actual, spice. But we had some technical difficulties in the kitchen today, so we had to
We all
improvise.
before.
We had to improvise, so instead of your ciabatta bread having the flavor of that as well, then we just put it in the oven and toasted it that way.
You know how EFNEP is, where it always changes. It's
Wait,
adapted.
that's Yes, ma'am.
You said how long did you toast the bread?
We toasted the bread for maybe about 10 minutes on 350. And it was open, we had already had our slits in it so that it could bake inside just a little.
So do the calories reflect the bread that you used today?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am. No, ma'am, it does not.
Yeah, so it does, so I ate that whole thing today.
So with this, right,
Yes. We're sorry, our bread was half of the size.
Half of the
So, yes, but this is right.
our soap was so that you could actually pick it up as a pocket and eat it
Oh, I got you.
And it had roasted red peppers in it,
in the bread.
in the bread.
So do you think you could use a pita bread?
Yeah, sure, you could use a bread, pita bread.
Why you don't use it?
We were using the bread roasted ciabatta bread,
If we would've cut it
Oh,
like
okay.
bread
this,
roasted
you
peppers.
could do it the same way. This just looks cooler this way.
Yes.
But, yeah, you can do the same thing with that, yeah. Very cool.
Thank you.
Nice. Nice job.
We were gonna do it, like the skillet, and at the last minute, had to flip it to the stove on the, so we were gonna cook it in really quick, so. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you both.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, I enjoy it. Not yet, I have to try to do the first section, so yeah, wait for this section to be completed and stuff, and then I can. Yes, I am, yes.
Okay, our next competitor, Nicole Swinson. She is a youth educator in Duplin County. Her recipe is fruit poppers. This is an original recipe.
Okay. Good afternoon, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? Good. So today I will be serving fruit poppers, and they are a partial edible. So I'm gonna go ahead and
serve you all.
Thank you.
These folks, if you like, they're a little chill because I wanted to make sure I preserve the yogurt. So what it is we have in one of our youth curriculums, we have a yogurt fruit dip that is made with yogurt, orange juice, and soup. One of the easiest recipes. So what I did was I filled the yogurt fruit dip inside the strawberry. And then I drizzled it with dark chocolate because we know dark chocolate is full of magnesium, iron, zinc, all those other things. Strawberries also as well. And to keep it, Mediterranean, kind of feel the graham crackers are whole wheat. So just to kind of give some instruction to how to make the dark chocolate drizzle. The dark chocolate is one of the healthiest chocolates because it does contain so many 10 seconds at a time, and you do it in 10-second increments and you melt. And usually in EFNEP, a lot of times we use Ziploc bags, which kids can use quite easily because it doesn't get their hands messy, and they can prepare it themselves. So I would put the dark chocolates into the Ziploc bag, melt it, cut a hole at the end, and they can drizzle it and make their name, make shapes, make all types of different things with the yogurt as well. As you see, there's a yogurt drizzle on your plate. With the graham crackers, I take 4 graham crackers, put in my bag, crush it down real good. They can do the same thing. They can put it on a plate. They can make the names with it. They can make numbers, add, subtract, do all different things in curriculum. With the yogurt mixture, we usually just take the fruit and dip it in the yogurt mix. I got this recipe from an old EFNEP curriculum, the yogurt fruit dip, and the idea to fill the yogurt inside the strawberry just came from a recipe I saw online, but they used different and healthy ingredients, like whipped topping, I think it was pudding. So I wanted to make it a little bit healthier for kids to eat and try to coincide with our curriculum.
Did you freeze these?
I did not, I put it in the freezer to hold the yogurt. It's frozen.
Mine was a little bit,
Okay.
but in a good way.
Okay.
But it was
Good.
like, it was almost like a frozen yogurt kind of thing on the inside, so that's pretty cool. That may be something you may want to mention as an idea to do, especially summer's coming, where it's very, very hot.
Right.
Very refreshing.
Thank you.
It's very cool.
I want a little crisp icy right on the edge, so that that it's cold, and kind of safety. So the yogurt hadn't sitting outside the temperature.
This is a great adaptation of the dip because this is a composed dish. This is a dish that you could serve someone as a dessert as opposed to, let's just have this dip and these strawberries and you don't feel like you're getting a composed dish for dessert. Really good.
Thank you.
For a dinner party, you can serve it for a dinner party. It's a simple, easy thing that's impressive for that as it is for kids after school. So
Right. And I wanted to make it a little bit elegant, take it up to maybe adults would want to do it. It is a kid recipe, so maybe adults would want to do it and work with it a little bit and see what designs they can do and how they can feel it as well.
Does that say EFNEP?
It does say EFNEP.
Good job. I was looking at it upside
Go ahead and
down.
take a picture of it.
I'll tell you what else is a great substitute for chocolate covered cherries, chocolate covered strawberries, where you buy the chocolates and you melt them and they're very high, very unsaturated, very unhealthy fats, a lot of palm oil and that kind of thing. And this is just the dark chocolate that's melted and you just get that little bit and then it's really nice.
And when I found out about dark chocolate, the higher the concentration, you go to 70, 85, the greater health benefits, antioxidants, and things like that. And so it does have a little bitter bite sometimes, but the sweetness in the strawberry, and you have the acidity of the orange juice as well, and kind of come in and just give you this great burst of flavor.
It's a perfect balance. And 88 calories for a treat is like,
Right, because, well, of course, a strawberry is only 4 calories. Just want it in there.
Have you made this with your families yet?
I usually make the yogurt dip with the kids, and we just now started adding the chocolate, yeah. We dip it in the chocolate, and they love it. Of course, they have to be, in a setting to where we have time to melt, talk about the importance of it, different things like that, because the chocolate does take a little time to melt. You want to make sure that you don't burn it. And waste any money. I don't want to waste money, especially when it comes to dark chocolate. So you want to take time to make sure it melts.
I do want to open them to the rest of the audience to ask questions at this time.
I make orange juice. Where did it go?
The orange juice goes into the fruit yogurt dip.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So, depending on how much yogurt, you want to keep it in a good consistency. And then sometimes your audience will be careful with your audience. You're using orange juice, because you know orange juice is one of those things that with different health issues to stay away from. But a splash, or it asks for a half a teaspoon, so just keep it in mind. Yeah, so I have kids, when I make the fruit yogurt, they, after they dip the fruit, then they just take a little container and turn it up to the bottom and just start slurping it.
I have a question.
Yes.
How much is the amount of sugar?
The amount of sugar, it's not listed.
9 grams?
But how much of that is added sugar? So let's talk about that.
The added sugar, the sugar that would be added would be from the strawberries itself and the orange juice. I know the yogurt contains probably about 3 grams of sugar.
But that's not added sugar. The only added sugar you have is in the chocolate.
In the chocolate, yeah.
Right, so if you leave that out, it goes down to 9.
Mhm.
And you're getting so
Leave it
little
still,
of the
right,
chocolate.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes,
You may have addressed it, but what was your technique in filling the strawberries?
Okay, so the Ziploc bag, the same technique used for the chocolate, I use for the yogurt.
So you cut the strawberries open.
Mm-hmm. So in the strawberry, thank you for that. In the strawberry, I cap the strawberry, I hull it, cap hull, and I guess in the countries they use cap. So, but I hull the strawberry, and then I put an X right in the center, and then I take the Ziploc bag with the slit on the end, I put a cut in the end, and I insert it inside, just lift it and fill it, pipe it in there. Now I use a Ziploc bag. Some people can use it, which is cost effective. Some people can use like regular piping, decorating piping. I'm a Ziploc bag, I use it for everything, to wrap up and to clean up, and so that's what I use for the strawberry, the filling of strawberry.
Just to throw something in there with your Ziploc bags, if you're running out of, or it's not easy to access, from glove, stick your hand in a Ziploc bag like a mitt, and you can kind of zip it, or you can put a rubber band around it if you need to, just to get through. If you're showing up, if something weird happens, you can certainly use it for that too.
Ziploc bag. I love it.
Yeah. Like duct tape, right?
Yes.
What did you purchase purchase your whole wheat, your whole wheat, black bread.
We have to search for those. So Publix is where I found those at.
Okay, thank you, Meg. I must not be able I got Okay, everyone, I have our next competitor. They are Natima and Jessica. Natima is an adult educator in Edgecombe County. Jessica is a youth educator in Franklin County. Their recipe is a toasted plantain and cilantro booster.
Hello, everyone. So today we have a toasted plantain and cilantro booster. The idea came from trying to incorporate more of a Hispanic flair on some of our recipes, but we also wanted some things that were WIC approved, so our clientele could buy it with the means that they have. So Jessica and I came together to combine our forces, and we came up with this smoothie. So I'll let her start.
So one of the ingredients that we used was pineapple. So pineapple is going to give you that sweet taste. We also have fresh cilantro. We use whipped milk. This is yogurt. So this is an item that can be purchased on WIC, and the pineapple can also be purchased on WIC as well. One of the safety tips that we wanted to point out for our can is just to make sure you are careful to wash it with soap and water, and then wipe it with a paper towel for cleaning. And then we also have soy milk substitution for people who may not be digesting calcium and things like that. So those are like some of the uniqueness. And we also have our cayenne pepper, which is a surprise. It will give you a little kick. So be excited about that.
It's not heavy with cayenne, so it's not going to overpower the palate, but it does bring out some of the sweetness in the pineapples and in the plantains. In my home, I use plantains all the time. So we have a green plantain as an example of not what to use. Don't use the green plantain in this recipe. You can use it for many different recipes. But in this case, the green plantains are going to be more firm. They're going to have a more starchy flavor. So if you plan to use a plantain for this recipe, try and find one that is yellower, and may have some brown spots on it. And in order to open a plantain, it's not like a banana, we just pop it off. You actually will need a knife. So you cut a little nick, and then you peel. You will peel it back. And if you can't get everything, you still have your knife. Make sure your fingers are not in the way. And you can peel your plantain, okay? That allows you to get to what's inside, and then you cut it up just like you would any type of banana that you were gonna use for cooking. So we pre-cut our banana. It doesn't take a long time to peel it. And you just continue on there. But once you have it, you can cut it up just as you would any banana. Diagonally, chopped up, whatever works best for you. And this is what you'll use when you saute it in your skillet with just a little bit of butter. If you are anti-butter or margarine, you can use oil spray, if that's what you use in your home. You saute it and you add a little pinch of the cayenne pepper. That kicks up the flavor with just a little bit of pineapple juice to keep it moist because it is rather firm as well. And blend everything in here. So those are the only warm components. Everything else is in there. In a few seconds, you have something delicious and nutritious. So our beverages are right here for our judges to try. And if you have any questions or anything that you want to know in reference to them, we have questions.
Just for 1 second, please, Lisa. I think you ladies are welcome to continue talking. I'm gonna open the floor to the judges, and then afterwards I'll open it up to the rest of the audience for questions.
I was just curious. How much does a plantain cost?
Typically, a plantain costs about 39 cents, 40 cents when they're in season. When they're not in season, they're more around 57 cents, 60 cents, but they're still really economically feasible. If you think I'm gonna go to a banana section and the produce section and get a banana, you'll find them there with more of the exotic fruits and vegetables, but they don't have that exotic fruit and vegetable price.
This is my first time, like, actually preparing in the kitchen. So it tastes just like a banana. Once you saute it, it tastes just like a banana.
So why do you saute it and not use it raw?
Do you want to answer?
It brings out those flavors. So, like I was telling her, this is my first time trying it. Trying to be more diverse. So, once we put the butter in, it just brings out all of those flavors and steam. And even when you're cooking it, you can smell it. And it smells different too. So it just brings out all those flavors, just roasting it with the butter or even the spray.
And it did soften it a bit.
Yeah,
Right. A lot, because there's still
Kind of starchy, still hard.
Exactly.
Pull it down because this is you chill, if you chill the.
depends on what you're looking for. You can chill it in the refrigerator, the whole pitcher, or a warmer drink, and then you can just have it serve it as is.
So for today, we did 3 individual glasses. We chilled it.
It tastes better.
It tastes better.
The cooler it becomes for some people.
And I can just barely taste the cayenne pepper. Cayenne, and I appreciate that because I'm not a spicy person, but I like
You can taste it.
It's right at the end of the taste.
I hope you have enough for everybody in the audience, because this is really good.
Thank you.
It is really simple. Going through it, taking the time to discuss it, it took 25 minutes. But if you have all your recipe ingredients, you can do this in 20 minutes and chill it the night before, and then that morning just pour it.
Well, what I like about this smoothie recipe is it doesn't use ice, and so you could keep it in the refrigerator for a few
And
days.
it's right now, it's
Right.
nice, chunky.
Right.
It's not gonna,
No.
when the ice melts
It will
in a regular
separate.
smoothie, it's just sort of gone, and, yeah.
So could you use the, without cooking, could you use it in the smoothie without cooking the? Okay.
With the, if you're gonna use a plantain, it's more advised to cook it, because adding that little cayenne to it with the pineapple juice kind of softens it and it mixes the flavor as well. But we have a substitution. If you can't find a banana, you can use plantain, you can use a banana. And in that case,
With plantain, it's like really hard. When you start pulling it, you'll see the texture and why we decided to roast it instead. But if you use the banana, like she said, you don't have to do that option, because I know some people prefer it really chilled versus roasted.
And how did that change it compared to the original recipe?
Quantity. So I think before we, originally started out using maybe 4 bananas or just for a bigger quantity, we discovered that when we put it in the blender, it's too chunky and it dries all the way to the top. So we limit the quantity of it. And then it became very, very smooth. So we did practices, and fine tuned it for you guys.
Can I hold a little piece of, plantain?
So could you use, cow's milk?
Okay.
Yes, you can use cow's milk. We used soy milk, so that way if someone has a milk aversion, it wouldn't bother them. But if you are getting SNAP or WIC, and we are targeted at low income, families, both of them are available.
Covered
Yes. And so are the plantains, and so is the pineapple, and so is the cilantro. So the only thing that wouldn't be covered is spice.
I have 2 questions. First of all, is this an original recipe?
I don't believe so, because currently in our United States, we have a large Hispanic population, and a lot of their cuisine is mixing with other cuisines. So it's not strictly a Hispanic recipe. And you can find these ingredients anywhere. It's easier in a more metropolitan
I
area.
think maybe what she's asking is, did you guys come up with this?
I did. Yeah, I came up with this at home with my children, and then I said, I think that this would work well. I have someone in mind to help me, because we were actually teammates, and so we decided to try it to see if it would work.
And the second part, did you, have you thought about trying it with olive oil instead of butter? Would it change the taste drastically?
We did practice with the spray. We didn't do olive oil, we just did the nonstick spray, because a lot of people have that on. But I wouldn't imagine it would change it drastically.
You're not using a lot.
Yeah, but if it's oily, it will show in your dish. But if you just use like a little oil, or just maybe like a 2 tablespoons of butter, it'll just bring out those flavors without having that added oil, like accent. But olive oil may be a little runny, so I wouldn't recommend it. Well, we haven't tried it this year.
I know about planting because from my country is the plantation, is with that tradition. If you use it, the yellow plantain, when it's very dark, it's black, it's sweet like banana.
Yes.
It's more sweet and more flavor like banana. We can substitute that.
Yes, you can. Very sweet.
Yeah, if you use that dark plantain, yeah, because, and you can use it to like potatoes. I use it like a baked potatoes, I peel and put in the oven. And we don't need to use a fat, and sugar, it's really delicious, more like banana.
You know, we thought this would be kind of a learning point, because not everybody is familiar with the plantain.
Yeah.
Everyone knows the banana, but this might be an easy way to transition it into people as well.
And we have it going around too for people who've never tried it, like
You can feel it, smell it.
so you can at least see the texture of it. You can feel those are, so you can see for yourself.
And this would be great for the grilled chicken, grilled
Yes.
turkey, even, just to kind
Just
of.
brush it on.
That would be really good.
It can accompany many things,
Yeah, definitely.
very versatile.
Doesn't have to just be drunk like a smoothie. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, right.
Yes.
Grilled chicken.
Thank you, ladies.
Right. And it's still really good.
Okay, our next competitor is Paula Norris. She's an adult educator in Wake County. Her recipe is Paula's Best Bean Burger.
Good morning.
Good morning. You have access to the kitchen sink. You have soap, you have towel, you have a trash can here. I'm giving the hand signal to 7 minutes of the hand signal for this question. Okay,
And turn it on for one. Thanks. No, I think it's good. All right, so I'm gonna make a bean burger. It all in a healthy program. I'm just going to saute homemade roasted vegetables. So it's a very simple recipe, and you can use any kind of beans. The traditional falafel is made with garbanzo, but for this area, Wake County, it's a very diverse area, and including some people from Middle East. So I decided to take a trip to a Middle East store and found this awesome red lentils, but you can find them on a regular grocery store, Food Lion, anywhere. So what we're gonna do is put the cilantro, and if you do not have, because I know everybody has all those fancy, you can just chop or mince very, very small. So it's gonna be a little bit noisy. And then you just add in your peppers. Doesn't have to be all peppers, because I know they are expensive. It can be green peppers. So that's the base. The beans are also fresh cooked. That's another reason why I like lentils, because they cook literally in 10 minutes. So then you need something to bond. So we're gonna use an egg. As a good food safety precaution. I'll wash my hands after touching the egg. And you're also going to use flour. I know there's many people that are gluten-free, so you don't have to use wheat flour. I'm Brazilian, so I already experiment with yuca flour, which is fine as far as like bring everything together. So you're just gonna mix all in there. Mix the flour, the cooked beans. Cheese is optional, but why not, right? And I have the falafel spices. Again, it doesn't have to be like that. I want to be very original, so I got that. Like, that's just a mix of different spices. So you can use whatever spice you like. And I also add a little bit of paprika. Cayenne pepper, so to give a little kick. So I'm having one already pre-made, so I'm gonna cook it. So once you have everything mixed, if you don't have a electric skillet, you can use just a pancake pan or
any iron skillet. And what I like it, you don't have to touch your hands on it. So I measure about 1/3 of a cup. And it makes perfect, unless you are like OCD and then you have to have perfect. I'm not. All about saving time. So that's why I like to do it that way. Okay. So you're gonna let it cook for about 3 minutes on each side. Okay, now a little bit more fire here. So all the ingredients, since we work with a population that is, most of them either receive food stamps or are WIC participants. So I would say like 80% of the ingredients are WIC approved ingredients. And also ingredients that canned beans, you can use canned beans. So let's see what else. While it's cooking, do you guys have any questions?
Okay, I want the authentic flavor, because you said it, so I want it too.
Yeah, so you can find that on that, like right here is Almadina. That's where I buy all our raca.
But if I had to substitute something that I had at home, what would you?
Cumin, coriander, curry. So any of those strong spices that Mediterranean spices. You can even like add the like herbs, like all the type of oregano, you know. So it depends what taste you want to get off. Because beans are pretty much tasteless. So whatever you add to them is what they want to present as.
Have you used other kind of beans?
I did with soy sauce, soybeans. I did with garbanzo beans, and I did with black beans. So all of them work. And I like this because you don't have too much, because they're so small, and when we cook them in their most salt. And the black beans, you have to give a little smash if you don't have a food processor. If you do have a food processor, at the end, you just threw the beans and let them process. Yeah. So.
You talked about using the yucca flour. You used wheat flour today. Nice, that's nice. So good. And I was talking to you, and everybody's watching you, and you're just flipping those like it's nothing. That's awesome. Could you use a whole grain flour?
Absolutely. Like I tried with oats, and it worked very good.
Okay. Did you process them in the processor, the oats?
Yeah. No, I didn't. I put that. Yeah. So it will be more like grainy, right? But some people prefer like that.
Right.
So it will be So the texture will be slightly different.
Right.
But yeah, you can use that.
And you said you tried different beans. What's your preference? Which one is?
Yes. I really like that. One of them, this bean it has so much protein. So it can really, we don't have to eat meat. So we got 10 grams of protein per serving. So it's good in protein and easy to make.
How much was this bag of lentils? Do you remember?
I think it was like $3.99.
Right, so you're getting a lot of food for $4.
Yes.
That's great.
Well, so we did the one side split cost for this meal came up to be 75 cents per serving.
The new dollar menu, right here.
Yes. So yeah.
And what would you serve with?
I'm gonna serve. So my favorite is the roasted sauce. But if you don't want to make, I'm a homemade everything. But if you don't want to make it, you can just do like a little sauce, on top. Or and also I'm gonna let you experiment with the tzatziki sauce, which is a yogurt and cucumber. So it's very vegetarian. And the cheese, you do not have to add it. It just adds more flavor, and you can add different types of cheese too, including like the pepper jack. That will give a little bit more spicy. Okay. So let's serve it.
Thank you. I'm gonna jump in just for a second.
As she's cleaning these, I do encourage the judges to sample the recipe. I will, you've been asking questions, but you're more than welcome to continue asking questions. I'll also invite the rest of the audience, you're welcome to ask questions now as well.
So I will give you the option to do your favorite sauce or try the old one. So here's the sake, and here's the tomato. I mean, it's peppers, tomatoes, onions, jalapeno, so it's a bunch of peppers that are roasted. And should I cook more?
Not at this time.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Would you use like holdings inside the patty itself?
Instead of mashing it?
Yeah.
I think you can. I haven't done. Like this one is whole. I did not mash. But right. So I teach them like I know they had the dry beans. So the best way to cook dry beans is to overnight them on a slow cook. Then you get up in the morning, your house will smell like beans, but you have beans, and you can put them on a Ziploc, divide it by serving, freeze it, so you have beans forever.
Does this have a fruit in it?
Pineapple. Yes. I'm a tropical girl, gotta have some.
So we have the recipes for the sauce also?
I can give it to you, I don't have it here.
Okay.
Yes, I mean, that's pretty much put things together. That's most of all my recipes are anyway. I open the refrigerator in the pantry and whatever I have, I throw it in. So.
Great job.
All right, thank you so much for your.
Congratulations on the anniversary.
Thank you.
Okay, our last competitors for session 2 are Lethea and Ahira. Lethea is an adult educator in Sampson County. Ahira is an adult educator in Johnston County. Their recipe is cool cucumber coleslaw. Can I see that? minutes. They give you hand signals. You have access to the trash can, kitchen sink with still with water. Do you need anything at this moment? Okay, I'll be coming you and then it's over to the judges. Okay? If you need more gloves, there you can. Okay. Okay, so, our recipe is a coleslaw, and we actually, we modified it to have like a actual Mediterranean twist to it. We switched out the mayonnaise with the tzatziki sauce. And we're gonna show you how exactly we actually prepared the cool cucumber coleslaw. So first, I'm gonna put this here. So typically what we would do first is obviously wash our cucumber. And then we would peel it. So, because you don't actually want the tough skin of the cucumber in the coleslaw. But you also make it better. And after you peel it, you would cut it in half. Or right there in front of you. So after we peel it, we would pour it, cut it in half, and then make sure the seeds are out. So, and then what we actually do with the seeds, our idea would be to, first, so that we don't actually waste, we could use it for a water infused cucumber. So, it's just an example of how we would do it. And that's just like a little side. And then with the actual cucumber, the what's left of it, we would grate it with a coarse grater. Then after, we actually use a whole vegan cucumber, and after we grate it, we would actually put 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt to allow the water to draw out of the cucumber. Traditionally, when they make the tzatziki sauce, the idea is to draw the water so that when you set it in the fridge, the water doesn't cause the sauce to, get really runny. So that's what we did here. We had already prepared that ahead of time. And of course, we want to take the liquid out. So, show you what trick that we figured out. Just doing some research on the internet. So, take this spoon here.
fold it, kind of like a Tootsie Roll. That's how I would describe it. And this would be preferable over the sink, but just so that you can see, and let's move this out of the way. So I would just leave enough gaps in the saran wrap to make the water come out. And then after this is done, we would actually, first we would leave the salt and the cucumber, preferably like 15 to 20 minutes, while we actually, after we work on the sauce. So we want to go ahead and show them what ingredients we utilize.
Good evening.
Right.
For our ingredients today, what I did was shredded the cabbage with a knife like this. To the condensed size that I want, I shredded my cabbage. Then I cut my grapes in four so that we would have more of them and get the flavor and the taste from them. Then I shredded the carrots the same way that I did the cabbage. And the onions, this is a real twist with some onions that we're going to show you how to cook. And we have walnuts that we're going to put in.
So yeah, so let's start combining the stuff together.
First ingredient I'm going to put in is my carrots. Carrots. I'm going to stir it around a little bit, make sure it gets all flavor. Then I'm going to put my onions in. And you can shred your cabbage to the coarseness that you want them. You don't have to have them long. You can cut them real fine like we've done these today. Then I'm going to add my walnuts. And mix that up. If you notice, everything that I put in, I mix it together really well so that it can get the flavor all the way through it. Then the grapes. And we're going to mix those together. We call this a real cool twist to some coleslaw because normally in the summertime, everybody knows that it's getting warm outside and you won't have to worry about mayonnaise spoiling yourself. It keeps longer than the mayonnaise. We're going to add a little salt and pepper. Yeah.
So after that, what you would do is for the sauce, you would put the cucumber in 5 ounces of vanilla Greek yogurt, non-fat. And then to kind of soften the sweetness, we added 1/4 of a cup of plain non-fat yogurt, Greek yogurt. And the reason why we chose the Greek is to get that consistency that mayonnaise offers, and actually add 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil for that healthy fat that we want to include in the coleslaw, and of course to help it give it that consistency, and even it helps with the taste. Also, a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar for that tartness that tzatziki sauce usually carries. And of course, you could actually substitute it with lemon juice instead of the apple cider vinegar. And then you would, of course, add your fresh dill leaf, and a tablespoon of minced garlic. We'll take this. And you can actually add the salt and pepper and the sauce first before incorporating it into the salad, but you could do that too. So we're going to mix the stuff together and go ahead and put the cucumber. And of course, you want to make sure that you squeeze the water as much as you can because, like I said, you don't want the water to draw out. And, you'll have watery tzatziki sauce in the coleslaw. And you want to do this really thoroughly. And you can actually do this the night before if you actually want like a stronger taste to it. Like make the sauce ahead of time before making the coleslaw, or you can make the coleslaw ahead of time and then leave it overnight in the fridge so that everything just really, I guess you say marinate. Okay, so now we're going to combine the sauce. And the reason why we decided to use the tzatziki sauce is because, well, I mean, we wanted to actually be inspired by an actual Mediterranean dish. Of course, following the Mediterranean healthy eating pattern does not mean you have to eat Mediterranean, but we just thought it'd be really creative to actually look to a culture that is based on Mediterranean eating for our recipe.
You can serve this on top of a burger, or you can serve it.
Okay, I'm gonna step in just for a moment. So as you're serving the judges, you're welcome to continue, preparing. I will open the floor to the judges to ask any questions they would like, especially as they're sampling, and then I'll open it to the remainder of the audience.
So I was wondering, why did you use vanilla yogurt?
We wanted to try to keep it as traditional as possible. The typical, well, for many people, the typical coleslaw has to it, but we want to help people not be tempted to add too much sugar to the coleslaw. So we figured using the grapes and the vanilla yogurt to help control that.
You're right. I mean, coleslaw dressing, if you were to buy it in the grocery store, is very, very high in sugar. And people are looking for that. They don't realize it. It's very sweet. Most coleslaw has that sweet taste. Really good job combining the, I think if you just use, be careful. If you just use vanilla yogurt, it would have been too sweet, but you did a great job balancing it. Walnuts are good.
You agree that you could use it as a side dish, and on top of it, the burgers, hot dogs, either one. It's a different flavor that you wouldn't find in traditional coleslaw.
And if you notice, the original recipe was a cool coleslaw.
Cool, crazy
Coleslaw, yeah. And it actually also has honey in it, but you can also go crazy with honey. So that's why we also took that out.
That doesn't either.
I just like the fact that y'all use the leftover for the cucumber to add to the more, so I like that.
And if I can add, if you notice how we squeeze the salt out, the idea would be on a hot summer day, you lose sweat, you lose electrolytes, you could potentially use that water, cucumber water, and add it to the water and just drink it. So you can have, obviously you want to control the salt, but you don't want to have no salt because that could also, lead to dehydration. So, having enough electrolytes in your water can help reduce that risk of dehydration.
This one too, we don't throw away anything. We can serve it.
Have you tried this with your families? Not with the families, but we have tried with their Extension County coworkers.
And
the first times that we tried it, a lot of them were like,
And then with this final one, they're like, not bad at all. So when they said that, we knew.
Yeah.
We get the job.
Like with any recipe, you have to keep tweaking it until you get to the right consistency of everything that you want to use.
And let me add, originally the recipe calls, for our modification, it called for Vidalia sweet onion, but we had to modify it and use the, we tried it with the regular white onion as well as the purple onion, and it was too strong.
Well, the dark green adds to the,
I would use this as a bed for like fish or
oh,
put it on top, it'd be very pretty.
Tacos.
Oh, yeah, tacos, fish tacos.
Okay, ladies, I'm gonna interrupt you. Thank you so much. I know. Next skills class? Yes. I know, I hear what's over there. Don't hurt yourself, Lydia. We almost had a fire in the kitchen. I feel we're getting into the yellow kitchen. And I will take this from you, ma'am. Yeah. Oh, shit, I just skipped it. Okay, it has been a long morning. I know you all are hungry. We're gonna kind of change it up a little bit. So at this time, we are going to dismiss for lunch. Lunch is upstairs. At 1 o'clock, so it's 12:34 right now. At 1 o'clock, we will come down for presentation of certificates and awards. So,
that is an adjustment to your lunchtime. I apologize. We just, as we were going through this, I realized we didn't account for enough time in the transition. So we've learned something from this process today. And, thank you guys for being flexible. We appreciate it.
And then you probably can't. Okay, I know you're not. You just need to talk through it.
And then anybody that can, gets